starting the process of decorating for Thanksgiving. My Norfolk pines will be my Christmas trees, and I have one skinny fake tree that stays up year-round. So I will play with the lights probably for a day or two, however long it takes to have them perfect. And then I'll start decorating for Christmas. And luckily these lights plug into the Christmas lights, which plug into each other, so I didn't have to look for another plug. And I don't have to look for a spot for a Christmas tree. My skinny tree, which I've had for years, I use for a nightlight. It stays decorated year-round, but I add Christmas bling to it this time of year. You know how it's so hard to buy your mom gifts? Because, you know, moms and dads, they have everything at this point. But my daughter buys me things that she finds when she's out doing her picking. So I have somewhere to put those gifts. Pansies had reseeded in this pot. They're small, unattractive, but I want to keep the pansies, so I decorated with things around the yard. Much better. Room to add. There's my bird friends. It's gonna rain. Let them out, stretch their wings before I close things up for the morning. These are cold weather herbs: mint, oregano, and chives. Perennials, cold loving. Along with some primrose, some garlic, left over from this year's sale. My little evergreen, I found out that the chickens really like it and they will eat it, so I'm trying to keep it away from the birds. Looks good here. I still have my eucalyptus for now. I'm still debating on digging it up. I've never had one survive the winter. But when I dumped last year's pot, the roots look like they were still alive. I have been covering when it gets down into the 20s, lower 20s. But tonight it's going to be warmish. So I get another day without plastic on my food. When I'm cleaning out the coop, I'm stuffing straw around the greenhouse. Mostly the greenhouse doesn't freeze. But when it gets down into the single digits and teens for days in a row, a week or two sometimes, that's when it'll freeze. So I also put my garden scraps along the side to help with insulation. The spinach that I planted in that square did not come up, and I have 2 packages of spinach. I think one of them's bad. I am still growing onions and carrots here that are mature-ish. Strawberries have put on a really pretty color. They make a good fall decoration. mint, raspberry. Starting to sprinkle, so I think I'm going to put these guys away. This is the seeds from allium bulbs in this pot. They got disrupted when my garden got remodeled and enlarged. They got buried, and I remembered them later and dug up the little bulbs that were a year or two old, and then I was cleaning out my bulbs and seeds and found a bag of seeds that I had saved, so they're all in that pot until I decide what to do with them. Got everybody in. They were ready to come in. The birds are getting really easy. They move as a flock. They like their enclosure, so I don't have a hard time getting them in here. I have a place to put my cold-loving plants that would not do well in a greenhouse or in the house. I brought my tea out here this morning, sat in a chair, and really enjoyed being in here. I'm warm. I'm dressed warm, and it's not cold outside. So I really enjoyed spending time in here. I had to get the chair out of the way because my big table's moving behind the greenhouse. We're getting ready to shovel snow on the deck. So we have to get the big table out of the way, and I'm decorating for Christmas. Getting ready to go in. I dropped my tea off here, so I want to grab it. Then I'll show the duck on my way in. These are the flowers for my duck pot. I got some herbs in the back. And this grass I think I'm going to bring in. That's lemongrass. Can't do it now because I have my tea in my hand. But these herbs, I ended up needing them in the winter last year, so I do have some herbs in the house. A selection of quite a few in the greenhouse. It's eating very good. But there's enough in here. The ones that are outside are for sale. This light I might eventually bring into the house. It's a really good LED bulb. It's too bright, so I have to find a place where it won't get on my nerves. If I didn't have my tea in my hands, I'd walk in there and show you the lettuce. The lettuce is really pretty, and it's really good, and it's doing fabulous. The spinach I found that had reseeded on the other side of the garden I moved in there, it's not looking good yet. Transplant shock. I have a fake Christmas tree with lights that I'm going to put right here because there's a plug there. And I decorated this pot. It was empty-ish. The leaves had fallen off the shrub. Look how pretty it is. This is why I bought this for winter interest, because the stems are so pretty. Dogwood. So decorating around it was, you know, it was a piece of cake to go from that to something unique and pretty, and I did it myself with the stuff in the yard. I do it every year. Did it one year and then I just kept doing it. This is a table that's got to go behind the greenhouse. It's a good sign when you hear people whistling. That's Jamie. Hi, Jamie.
Are you making a movie?
Always.